Hey guys, it's Amy. Welcome back to Too Blessed. Today I am filming in my kitchen because I wanted to share a recipe video with you. I don't have a very good setup here in my kitchen, so I can't really show you as I'm cooking it, but this recipe today is really pretty easy. It's just a casserole. You kind of throw ingredients together, stick it in the oven. So I'm just going to show you how to assemble it, and then after it's baked, I'll show you what it looks like and share this with you. This is my family's version of a Tator Tot Casserole. It's a little bit different, slightly, than most Tator Tot Casserole recipes I've seen. So let's get started, and I'll show you all the ingredients. It's only got just a few simple ingredients, 4 ingredients in fact, and let's get started. Okay, so first of all, the basis of this Tator Tot casserole is a soup. It's a Campbell's soup that's called golden mushroom. Not cream of mushroom, this is golden mushroom. And you can see it looks quite different than a traditional cream of mushroom. It's kind of an orange color. But that's the soup that we use. I'm going to include the full recipe down in the description box. My oven is preheated, sorry. I'm going to include the full recipe down in the description box. And the full recipe is for a casserole that would make a 9x13 pan. I am actually cutting this in half because I'm only making this for my husband and myself. So I've got this in a small 1.5 quart casserole dish. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and mix everything right in the casserole dish so that I don't have an extra dish to wash. So I'm going to start with 1 can of soup. Like I said, the full recipe is going to call for 2 cans, and the full recipe is going to call for 1 pound of ground meat. So I have cooked up a pound of ground turkey, but I'm only going to use half of it because, as I said, I'm cutting this recipe in half for us. So I already had this browned and just set aside, so I'm going to add that. And, you know, like I said, I'm using turkey. You can obviously use hamburger. You can pretty much use any type of meat that you want. So we've got the soup, the ground meat, and now I'm going to add green beans. Typically, I would use canned beans for this, but when I got ready to make it, I realized I didn't have any canned. So I'm using frozen green beans. And I'm not really going to measure these. I'm just going to pour some in and then stir it up until it looks good. I'll probably end up using about half of the bag. Like I said, if you were doing the 9x13 full casserole, you would probably use the entire bag, or you would use 2 cans of green beans. So let's just get this mixed up a little bit here. I think I'm going to go ahead and add just a few more. I didn't quite do half the bag, so I'm going to add in just a little bit more. And you can see how quickly this went together because those are the 3 main ingredients, and then the only thing left is that we're going to top it with tater tots. And then we're going to bake it in the oven. So once that's all mixed together, I'm just going to kind of spread that out and flatten it out just a little. And then again, I've got a large, I think this is a 32-ounce bag. And no, these are not tater tots. These are called potato puffs because I buy generic. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to kind of dump enough on to make a single layer over the entire top. If you were doing a 9x13, you probably would use pretty close to the whole bag. Now, a lot of the ones I've seen, people will sit and arrange the little tater tots in rows. I don't bother to do that. I just kind of stick them in there. But you really want just a single layer. As close as you can get to a single layer. so that they all kind of get brown on the top. I've seen some tater tot casserole recipes where they actually pour the soup mixture over the top of the tater tots, and I don't really care for that. I like the tater tots to stay kind of crispy. So then what we're going to do, that's it. Then we're going to bake it. Usually what I do is set the oven temperature for whatever temperature it calls for the tater tots. In this case, this one called for 450. So I'm going to put it in the oven at 450. It'll probably take anywhere from about 20 to maybe 30 minutes. And what we're looking for is, of course, for the tater tots to get cooked and brown, and then the soup mixture underneath will be bubbly. So I'm going to go ahead and get it in the oven, and then I will come back when it's done and show you. Okay guys, so here is the finished casserole. It did take right about 30 minutes in the oven. But if you can see, the tater tots are kind of brown on the top and the soup is bubbling up around the sides. So that is what the finished casserole looks like. I can't really cut into it right now because I'm waiting for my husband to get home from work, and he won't be home for I think about another 10 or 15 minutes. So I want to try to keep this warm until he gets home. But like I said, I just wanted to share this recipe for tater tot casserole. This is something that I grew up eating in our family, and I don't know that I've ever seen another recipe that called for the golden mushroom soup. But if you want to try it sometime, I think it's a nice change from like the cream of mushroom. It's got a different taste to it, and I really, really like it. So hopefully in the future I will be getting some more recipe videos. So if you enjoyed this one, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and maybe even leave a comment and let me know if you enjoyed this, if you would like to see more recipe videos in the future. And I will see you in the next video.